San Francisco meets Paris. Creativity is unleashed and the toolbox is always open with Bruno. 2 pillars of the house and 2 noobs with this power-packed review. We cover perfumes for all seasons from the house that has something called Ummagumma, my kind of naming conventions. It's a quad review times 4, trying a new format out, trying to cover more stuff, seeing where people pay attention, seeing what works. I love that you're here on Brandon Therapeutic Fragrance. Stay tuned. All right, Lampblack and Ummagumma took a while to get here. Thanks to some fragrance swapping, I have them. The samples that you get from Bruno are they come the perfect atomizers, nice big vial. The notes on a card. Every perfume house. I mentioned this last year. It's amazing how many people do a lot of expensive, fancy stuff and just miss the small details. This still is fancy, but the notes and a card you can actually spray on. An atomizer makes all the difference over a swabber. Yeah. So Bruno from his site does that. Keep those in mind. Perfect sampling. And then the 2 noobs are Corpse Revere and Zdradvetz. He's out of San Francisco. I consider him to be one of the pioneers of the indie perfume movement. Do it yourself. Of course, there's Tower. We all know that. But after that, you have the Brunos, the Slumber-A's, the imaginary authors, that the pioneer of the whole movement of what we're seeing today and how to do things from branding, sampling, distributing, doing everything in-house. He's top-notch stuff. A lot of credit goes to him for putting a stamp on the U.S. for indie perfumers as world contenders to good perfume and modern creations. All right, Zdtravetz. Get into this. It's kind of a flower found in the Bulgarian mountains. It has floral tones to it of geranium and rose. Earthy, rooty, if you will, that kind of leans towards. So he did a fragrance around that. He's not new to he picks particular ingredients and really focuses on buying that particular ingredient and building the nuanced composition out of it based on what he does and the accords he's built in his house. Narcisse is the other one. I have that bottle. That's the one bottle I have from the house so far. Could own many more. We'll get into Zdtravetz. It's fruity, bright, crisp against some Montserrat flair. If you guys have sampled Montserrat from the house, that DNA, the A, the air of the perfume, it both have that same vibe. I do agree with the perfumer that the Zdtravetz gives off a geranium vibe. But for me, the rose oil is the key to making this come together and make it more floral, more easier to approach in the wearing, together with a metallic citrus that calls attention to itself. This perfume wants to be looked at. It's flashy, bright, and people don't know why, but they want to continue figuring out where that smell's coming from and what that attraction is to the scent as their nose minds deliver whiffs of bliss. The passion fruit note in here is very linear. It's not fair. I literally sampled this a day after Rasa, which is the best passion fruit note ever. Without that, I definitely want to have this opinion. It was a day after, and I'm like, whoa, what a difference I got to see. I don't know if it's a synthetic or not. Usually when something's linear and doesn't change, that's my guess, educated guess. So, but totally different after learning that passion fruit note in Rasa. So not a fair comparison, as it was, even if it was a month later, I wouldn't have made that comparison. Literally the day after, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's passion fruit, but just two different vibes. So in the heart, of course, citrus fades, florals remain with some more green vegetalness coming in. That geranium fill gets stronger and stronger while the rose and passion fruit stay intertwined in the heart, providing for a smooth transition. Fragrance sweetens with a linear vanilla and leathered wood. I get hints of Tom Ford's Effing Fabulous here. If you guys have smelt that, that's like a one linear note wonder to me. And that note is in the dry down of this just a bit. That I call Armor All kind of smell note. Again, this had a top heart before I even get to this. So take the price of the Tom Ford versus this, and you're getting a whole lot more here. Smells clean with the cedar interior in your brand new car. The Fazzolari Aid, I smell all the way, especially from Montserrat, like I said. And this is where I get the French meets San Francisco sillage, that Bruno Aid here. That's what I have for that. I would score this as 71 out of 100. Be quicker on the scoring here. See how that works. If you guys want a breakdown, it will be in my blog later on. It's taken me a while to update. Eventually, I'll get it to where I review and there. And you can go see the scores there, but it's one of my most skipped over sections where people are just going to the score. So I'll just give the score. It's easy. A warmer weather fragrance for me, daytime occasion, anywhere it fits in, it's pleasing. Who do I see wearing this one? Jorge Garcia. I do 1 to 5 sprays on this one. All right, we'll switch this up to Lampblack, one of the staples of the house. Notes: sweet orange, black pepper, bitter grapefruit, Nagarmartha, benzoin, vetiver, and inky notes. This is one of the most known of the house. I've known that, been reviewed many, many times. Now I take my take on it. Can't believe I missed out on this. This thing is just creative. You can see why it's what the House of Bruno was built on kind of thing. Right away, it's one of those I have to sit back, turn on my brain, and like, what just happened? Just a brand new fume, brand new whiff, and just the creativity of a perfumer pushing the boundaries, pushing us forward in what olfactory senses offer. Notes are all there with the Fazzolari love, but something is happening, but something special is happening to your brain. It's growing and expanding with a new scent vocabulary. And I have a brand new nose memory on this one. Coming back to break this down, it's not fair to Lampblack. It is a composition that stands on its own, a whole scent that stands on its own with those mixture of ingredients. It's what perfume should be, is building accords and mixing them together in a symphony like this to where you just sit back and enjoy the perfume you're wearing. Again, the notes are all there. You can distinguish each one, but smelling them together, it's just the sound you want. It's probably the problem sound engineers have when they break down advanced music. You know, they can hear the different parts. And if you start doing that, you're really not enjoying the whole picture. And so it's just two things. You have to have engineers to build that up, but at the same time, you want to enjoy it. So it's such a balance. And you can see Bruno spent his time on this one to enjoy it, go back, tweak it, enjoy it, go back, tweak it, and build in layers. Architecture of the perfume, it's just one of those perfumes that has so many nuances going on. And he gives you the notes. It's almost like, don't give me the notes, just let me enjoy this thing. Yeah, it's not fair to break it down, in my opinion. The citrus is sweet, spicy, and bitter. Herbal. Did I mention sweet? Not candied, but just the right satisfying amount of candy candy that you crave and don't spoil your appetite. The heart is something made from Spielberg. It transitions from this perfect candy layering on your skin to an open grass field in the hills of San Francisco, a park up there, if you will. The Full House row home across from that park kind of vibe to me. Some sweet, more earthy, some woody flair on metallics. The base turns into a complete metallic feel for me, similar to Zdradvetz and Montserrat, the Bruno Aid. Woody metallic and oily, the dry down. 3 full transitions on this. This is an urban night out, al fresco style, perfect temperature, mingling with the people kind of fragrance. Score on this one is an 89. Bottle worthy at the price, for sure. Afternoon, evening fragrance for me. Spring and fall time, not the hottest of days. Summer evenings all the way. Who do I see wearing this one? Barry Bonds with an asterisk. Had to add that in there. Say what you want about his career, but I love everything he's been doing after his career. 1 to 5 sprays. All right, Ummagumma, another staple of the house. This is, again, going to twist and turn your brain. What is going on? We're going to end the last two with gourmands. Check out the notes in this one. Saffron, carnation, chocolate, tobacco, leather, laburnum, sandalwood, cedar, frankincense, tonka bean, vanilla. Not your Tom Ford vanilla tobacco. Not even close. Tobacco vanilla. I must find my next piece of South American chocolate laced with saffron because of this thing. Powdery tobacco and leather are also present on the top with aromatics of labdanum and some sweet incense. What an opening. The heart, the incense becomes more prominent. It has a buttery top. Tons of santal and dried cedar is prominent. The chocolate starts to fade out and the vanilla starts to get ramped up. Slight notes of that tobacco and the resins hitting. The base turns into a sweet incense. Be prepared. It's a gourmand incense. I'd call this a gourmand incense with the finish of the slight Brunoade in this one that becomes just a bit fresh and clean behind that incense, which I like. I mean, I'm kind of sick of just flat out incense dry downs and everything. I'm into natural, so it's one of the most popular accords you have to deal with. Where isoe super and synthetics is one of the most, and ambroxan, the most you have to deal with. This is a wintry hot chocolate with steaming vanilla incense coming off of the cup. I score this one an 86 out of 100. I'd wear this almost anywhere. It is a gourmand. Keep that in mind. It fits a lot of situations that I'm in. It's crowd pleasing, easy to wear. Cooler weather for me. I would not do this in hot weather. So fall to early spring. Who do I see wearing this one? Brian Valtaggio. 1 to 5 sprays again. All of these. Corpse Reviver. Okay, ready for this? Other gourmand. Notes: blood orange, camphor, whiskey, rosemary, tagettes, dried fruit, anise, cypress, dark chocolate, vanilla, and civet. Getting more animalic here than the other one. You can kind of see that both are fighting with each other. This one's a little more punch in your face. If you're going by notes only, let's get into the review a bit. Holy moly, this thing's coming at you like a first round action from Mike Tyson, swinging and connecting in his early days. One of the boldest openings I've smelled in niche perfume. This is a brand new hot spot in Vegas, and their signature drink is on the menu. Everything is condensed in this and punchy. The notes are all there, but it's just condensed and punchy. Orange is condensed and smoked. Rosemary is smoked. That camphor just adds so much interest to those top notes. And the heart, the orange and rosemary fade a bit, but they stay stiff and boozy. This is the drink you want around your in-laws, full of all the stuff you love, but don't want to count the calories. It's loaded still. Believe it or not, the dry down, this all cleans up with the civet, providing animalics against the Brunoade, the clean and fresh Brunoade. Interesting top to bottom animalic gourmand. I would categorize this one as fun fragrance, out of the box fragrance, not for everyone. People looking for originality, uniqueness, you're going to smell original. Check this one out. Even though it's gourmand, remember this could be, you animalic lovers, this could be a gourmand for you. I score this 185 out of 100. Colder weather. Who do I see wearing this one? Michael Valtaggio. I'd probably go 1 to 3 sprays on this, unless you were in an outside cold situation. Go the extra sprays to get a nice wintry, fun, punchy scent bubble. That's what I have. All right, we got through 4 perfumes. Bruno's, I wanted to get through them so bad. Thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, you and your families. Be safe, be at peace, and be blessed.